My name is Gilbert Burns. This is my neighborhood, Hawaiian Gardens.
It's being called the largest gang takedown in the U.S. Authorities handing down indictments against nearly 150 gang members. Raids are underway.
A predominant Latino gang mainly operating in the Hawaiian Gardens area, agents say the members of the gang are accused of a series of shootings and other crimes.
I was in Pico Rivera with my uncle. My uncle was getting arrested by the federal agents. And he tells me, he goes, as they're taking him away, he says, you know, one day when I get out, I'm gonna make you a hitman. And I said, okay, I'm down with that. I'm ready to go. And my goal in life was to be a gangster, was to be someone who was feared, someone who was respected. And I started not to care about people. This is pretty much like my innocent days here, because this is where my grandfather lived. He actually built this house and the two other houses that are behind it. My mother, 16 years of age is when she had me. So, you know, after that, then my grandfather said, you know, he kicked her out of the house and took me in to be pretty much his son. We had a victory garden. He used to make me get out there, work, which is that I know that's where I got all my work ethics from. And I stole $300 from his wallet. I was gone for 3 days. 3 days. He kicked me out, and that's when I went to live with my mother, which now, this is Violeta Street. The other street is called Sane Street. I'd rather call it Insane Street because that's where my insane life began. You know, that's where I started all my stuff. This is where she first lived. And I never was exposed to drugs or nothing like that. So I walked into the room, this whole bed was covered with these red pills. And I was like, what is this? Oh, my mother says, well, this is just a side job, just to make some extra money that the pharmaceuticals allow for me to do. I said, wow. And she had stacks of money. I mean, she had all kinds of money. Here, you know, I come into this school, this is an elementary school, Ferguson Elementary, to come to this spot here and just use drugs and hang out with my friends, and sometimes harass the neighbors and make the policemen come out and chase us on purpose. I didn't know about initiations, I didn't know about none of that. These guys, they saw me beat this guy up, and I don't know how to fight. All I was doing was protecting myself. And I, from that point, these guys hit me up, hey, where you from? I said, I'm not from nowhere, I live here, I live on Violeta Street. They told me, hey, my friends told me, hey, we got to initiate you. I said, for what? Well, to be in the gang. I said, well, what gang? Well, Hawaiian Gardens. You know, I said, oh, okay, I'll be in Hawaiian Gardens. 10 guys got around me, and they beat the crap out of me. It really was a harsh experience, but it was just to prove my manhood. And he was always telling me, my Uncle Beaver, he told me, you know, he was right there, he had a belt around his arm, had a full syringe of heroin and just injected into his arm. He says, if I ever see you do this, I will, you know, use some choice words and kick the whatever out of you. He's telling me not to do something that he himself is doing right there in the spot. In that house, they had all kinds of guns. I mean, this is really where we really got a lot of our guns. Pulled it out of the house, and the people were in it when we were robbing it, and we didn't even know it. And we stole all their guns, and then from there, I had this gun. I never even shot it before. I went to the store and I robbed it, and I put the gun to the guy's face, and the man was so in fear. He backed up, and he said, you know, whatever you want, take whatever you want. He gave me all his money. And I put him in the back room and I took off. That moment, I really had a sense of power. And it was a drive, really was a drive inside of me to want to be somebody. This is what I knew. This is what I was raised in. My mother was in it, my father was in it, my uncles was in it. That's all I knew. And so it really, you know, led me in a wrong direction. I'm grateful for my life. Thank God he preserved me, kept me, and all the mess that I did, God kept me. And I was only a kid. I was from 9 to 15. I'm 15, turning 15. So I did all my mess as a little kid. You know, we're a lot of kids at that age. I thank God. I thank God I can be who I am today. I'm grateful for it. Who would have known, coming from Hawaiian Gardens and now here in a place in Santa Clarita as a pastor. First of all, I'm a Christian. I'm married to a beautiful wife, and I have the opportunity to be a good husband and a good father. And I didn't get that when I was younger. I can say that truly God is using me as a good example on how to be a true man of God, able to help people in major areas of their life, spirit, soul, and body, spiritually, mentally, and physically. In times past, I was harming people, and today I'm helping people better themselves. So I am very grateful for where I am today. The Lord now in my life as a pastor, helping people better themselves and becoming what they're supposed to be in life, helping them to see clearly their visions and how they're going to obtain those things, and knowing that today is a life of faith in God and what He says to us.